Hello, good people of the internet. A while back, I made a video on the task management, wiki, note-taking, life management, all in one app, Notion. At the time, I was using it for what you are looking at right now, my YouTube videos. While I wouldn't call it a review, at the time I was singing the praises of Notion. But as with my other reviews, I can only ever recommend a product if it passes the test of time. What do you reckon? Has it passed that test? Let's talk Notion in the long term. I definitely share a love-hate relationship with Notion. On the one hand, I use it almost daily to organize all of my blog posts and YouTube videos. It's so much better and more efficient than using a spreadsheet, and this might not be important for you, but it is for me. I actually enjoy using Notion. Every article and video gets a carefully created entry in one of my many databases and travels along the columns of one of the many Kanban boards. I'll also use it as a scrapbook to jot down ideas that pop into my mind, and later I'll start fleshing them out in Notion itself. I'll add links, quotes, images, you name it. It's fair to say that I love actively using Notion. So why would I say I hate some aspects of it? To put it in layman's terms, Notion just isn't mature enough yet. My biggest bugbear, which I share with many other power users, is that there is no offline functionality at all. Even though I barely work offline, that does mean that my data would disappear were the company behind Notion to go bust. Notion desperately needs native app and a fully working offline mode on all platforms. Recently, every Notion user experienced an outage, and at that point I think it became very obvious how bad the online-only functionality is. As a Notion user, you're currently far too reliant on Notion being a success. For that reason alone, I would never recommend any companies, no matter how large or small, use Notion. My work isn't critical, and even if all of my Notion data were to disappear, I could pick it up again in a relatively short amount of time. But I would never think of storing any important documents in Notion itself. It could potentially be gone instantly. And it's not like you could just save all of your pages as Word documents or in Google Drive. Notion is its own thing, and you won't be able to recreate any of the databases without actually using the Notion application. Then there are the usual bugs and quirks which come with young software. Sometimes the dialog to upload an image just won't appear, or a template won't load, and other small annoyances come up. I can live with it, but again, it does give me pause for thought before giving it my full recommendation. And finally, there's the fact that Notion overcomplicates so many things. You can accomplish really complex things in Notion, which is great, but sometimes you might just want to create a table and not a full database. I get the impression that those testing Notion are the same people who developed it. I'm not a gifted programmer, and I use Notion for rather simple things, and when I need to note down the times for when to insert B-roll into a video, a simple table with 2 or 3 columns would do. That pretty much sums up my stance on Notion. Would I recommend it to anyone? Definitely not. You need to know what you're letting yourself into. Also, never use Notion for anything you can't live without. At the very least, keep backups of everything. But if you're like me and just really enjoy working with it, then sure, give it a go. Just don't make yourself too reliant on it. I have nothing more to say on the subject. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit that like button to show your appreciation. If you didn't like this video, hit that dislike button twice to make it extra impactful. I've been Liam Alexander Coleman, and it's been just about enough from me for one day. I will see you in the next one. Bye.